Our world is full of stigmas. Stigmas about how you should think, what you should believe, how you want to be perceived. And for me, they followed me my whole life. I was born in Thomasville, a small town in South Georgia, and I was surrounded by support, even if I didn't always understand what it meant. My mom put me in my first pageant when I was 2.5. My brother had just been born, and she wanted me to have something that I could put my all into, something I could connect with, and I loved it. By the time I was 5, I competed in over 40, doing everything from our local fair pageants to winning nationals. It was my thing. I was too young to understand the stigma that surrounded it. All I knew was that I loved it. I mean, when we think of pageants, we think of the stigma already. You add kids to it, and it brings it to a whole new level. But for me, it was fun. I loved everything about it. I loved practicing with my mom after school. We'd go in my garage, and I'd earn stickers if I hit the X's right. I loved going into hotels and ordering room service with my grandma. I loved getting glitz and glammed up and doing my hair and makeup and putting on the fun outfits. I loved it all. And of course, I loved the competition. Pageants were my childhood. But that all changed when I turned 10 and my sister was born. My sister was born with spina bifida, a birth defect that occurs when your spinal cord doesn't form all the way during a pregnancy. And our life changed. It became about surviving every day and trying to find a new normal. Pageants slowly got put on the back burner, and I was okay with that. My family had always meant more to me. And as life went on, I noticed things. People would stare at my sister. She was like any other kid. She had big round purple glasses, she had a huge bow on, and she used a hot pink wheelchair. That wheelchair part threw people for a loop. No one had ever seen a little girl in a wheelchair before. People would whisper and point and stare. They didn't know what to think. Children would ask questions, and their parents would shush them and give us a hurried apology. Questions aren't a bad thing. Questions are normal. But the constant secrecy that people put on my family was. My little sister was just a child, but people didn't treat her like that. I wanted to do something. My family wanted to do something, but we didn't know how. But my parents tried their best. I remember my mom would tell me that she always dressed my sister perfectly because if people were gonna stare, she was gonna look good while they stared. And my mom made a Facebook page dedicated to updates about my sister. She posted everything from her doctor's appointments over the years to our school achievements. We just wanted to start a conversation. We just wanted to be normal. Then pageants came back into my life when I was 16 through my hometown's pageant, Miss Thomasville. I can still remember my mom sending me the application, telling me I should give it a shot. And I was terrified. I did not want to do it at first because I had that memory of pageantry from a child. And I didn't want to mess it up. It held such fond memories to me, and I was scared that if I competed again, those would go away. But something in my heart told me to do it, and so I did. I didn't win that year, or the year after that, or the year after that. But I was hooked. I loved everything about it. And I was surrounded by people that wanted to see me succeed, that poured their heart and soul into me and my endeavors. And they gave me the courage to create Just Say Hi, an initiative that works to destigmatize disabilities through education and awareness. And it was inspired by those people that didn't stare at us, that didn't point, that came up to us and started conversations and wanted to get to know us. Funnily, Just Say Hi wasn't just my idea. It was originally a blog that my mom wanted to create, but never could with how hectic her life got. So I wanted to create that for her. Slowly, my pageant career thrived, and it felt like I had never left. I loved it. It gave me a voice, a why, a reason. And I became more connected with my community. Those connections allowed me to go into our schools, where I got to talk to hundreds of children about Just Say Hi, showing them that disabilities are a normal part of our life. I used books to create connections to show children disabilities. And I was able to talk to our city to increase accessibility. And through that, I was able to advocate for our disabled populations. Disabilities are normal. And pageantry is something that I've loved all my life, but it gave me a platform to speak out about it and be able to show people that they are normal too. My little sister wasn't always treated like she was normal, but that's okay. I was able to speak up for her. One day, I hope to turn Just Say Hi into a nonprofit that gives money to families of children with disabilities so they can make their homes more accessible. Families like mine who just wanted a sense of normalcy through inclusion and through accessibility. I have loved pageants my whole life. They've shaped me into who I am today. And those stigmas are what made me into who I am. Pageants are not beauty competitions. They are about creating well-rounded young women who are not afraid to speak up about the world around them. And they are what shaped me into who I am today. They are what gave me a voice and what gave me the power to advocate for others. And disabilities are not something that should be hidden or ignored or that we should be scared of. They're a normal part of our society. And once we recognize them as normal, we can remove the stigma that surrounds them. So, take a look around you. Not everything is as black and white as we like to make it seem.